We move on now as we build up to the Olympics, and South Africa's rowers are gearing up for the Games in France later this year. There was a last opportunity for the Olympic hopefuls to qualify for the Global Games in the final Olympic qualification regatta in Switzerland. And to tell us more about that, we are joined in studio by Rowing SA President Kerr. Good evening from us on Sports Live, and thank you for being here, President.
Hi, Tabisa.
Talk to us about how our teams have done in Switzerland over the past 2 weeks.
So they've been in Switzerland for the last 2 weeks. The first week was primarily focused on the final Olympic qualification regatta. We tried to qualify 2 boats for that event, a men's 4 and a ladies double, and it's fierce. So 2 spots were available for us to qualify, and they both finished in 4th place, so just missing out on qualification. The second week has been World Cup 2. And our boat that has already qualified, the men's pair, which is our top boat at the moment, raced yesterday in the semi-final today, and they're through to the A final. So that is our top boat, and they're into the top 6 tomorrow, which is great.
And how do you rate their chances?
It's always a tough one. I rate their chances. They're good guys in that boat. You and I were talking earlier. John is an Olympic gold medalist from London, and his partner Chris is the reigning world champion in the world record holder in the same event in the men's pair. So they're an exceptionally strong pair, and it's hard to commit to a medal, but they are a medal hopeful.
But talking about medals, though, rowing has been one of the sports besides swimming and athletics to bring back the medals from these Olympic Games. What has been key here with rowing, and what's it with rowing?
Yeah, so as you say, we have a proud history in the Olympic Games, a medal in Athens, medal in London, and a medal in Rio. It comes down to the team and sort of the team that we have behind the athletes. I think we have a great program. We have a lot of consultation with international coaches, but our local coaches, both in the games leading up to Tokyo, and we have a new coach who's taken over since Tokyo, have an exceptional program. They have a great squad of athletes, and that's the key. And
what about support? Are you getting enough support, though? Because when we speak to the so-called minority sporting codes, as we like to call them, there's just not enough support.
I think we've been very fortunate as rowing. There's always room for more. We've had an anchor sponsor in R&B who joined us just after London. So they've seen us through 3, nearly 4 cycles of the Olympic Games. And SASCOC are supportive of medal potential. So, I think we get our fair share of support. There can always be more support for sport in South Africa. But from a rowing perspective, I think we have a great community that supports. And as I say, R&B as an anchor sponsor have been with us since just after London.
The one thing that stood out, though, about rowing over the past years has been the development programs. There have been a lot of those. How is it looking, though, below maybe the guys that we see competing at these regalas and at the Olympics? How are the programs coming along, and what kind of programs do you have? Because we've seen you've also gone into previously disadvantaged communities to try and introduce the sport.
So at a world championship level, we have a strong junior team, under 19 team and under 23 team. So, that's feeding in nicely into the national squad. We talk about the development program. We have a dedicated development officer in Virginia Mabasi. And Virginia goes, pillar to post all around the country, promoting rowing, particularly indoor rowing, which are those rowing machines you see in the gym, developing and starting clubs in places that just are water scarce. So, providing access to people who wouldn't normally access the sport because of water scarcity on an indoor rowing machine.
And as far as representation is concerned, I remember the huge fanfare of the Awesome Foursome in 2012 with Sizwe being there representing a lot of people. How is it looking when it comes to representation in rowing?
It's still difficult for us as a water-based sport. Our junior team is more representative and has been more representative over the years. That hasn't always necessarily translated into the senior national team or the Olympic team. But it is a focus for the federation. It has to be a focus for any federation, frankly. And we continue to do as much work as we can there.
Okay, so we're looking ahead to the Olympics. How many medals are you saying you're expecting, President?
So we've got 2 boats qualified already. We have the men's pair that we've spoken about now and the ladies single. The ladies single, the athlete to be selected is still to happen.
Okay, so the boat qualifies and then you decide on the athletes.
Boats qualified, athletes still to be decided. And, we're 62 days away. SASCOC asked us the same question. So we're good for a medal and maybe two A finals, so 2 top 6s. But definitely, I'd like to think that the men's pair can produce a medal for Team South Africa.
And what do you do between now and then? The camps, how do the preparations work? The athletes by themselves, or do you organize special camps for them?
Yeah, so the guys will come back from Switzerland after this weekend. Hopefully with a good result. They'll know when, sort of their ranking in from a world status perspective. And then they pretty much go on camp from now through to the Olympic Games.
Okay.
Opening ceremony 62 days away, so there's only 62 days now to do some fine tuning and race in Paris.
Okay, we are counting down then to the Paris Olympic Games, and we're looking at rowing also to bring us a medal then. Good luck to the team, and thank you to the President, Kerr, for being with us here in studio. Still 1-0 to Al Ahly against Esperance. That's it for tonight's edition of Sports Live. It is good night from us.